Collective, I have no idea what you're doing to me this week, but this is another love reading, so buckle up, let's get straight into it. My DMs are always open. Once again, we've got quite a confusing connection here, so let's get straight into it. And if we need any more clarity, then we can obviously pull some more cards. But the first card that comes out for this collective is the Three of Swords. So I see this as either two things. We've got a third party interference here, and a third party doesn't have to be an individual or another person, for example. It doesn't mean that your partner or your ex-partner has been cheating with you or entertaining a third party. I mean, that could be relevant for some of this collective, but I see this as more of struggling to let go of something within a connection. There's something here that you're struggling to move past, and there is some interference, and that could even be family or friends, for example, but there's definitely something here that's meddling with this connection. I don't think that the things that have happened in this connection are necessarily down to the two people that are in this connection. I mean, everybody has their part to play, but I think that there's a lot of external influence and a lot of outside sources that have impacted this relationship. When I ask for further clarity, I get the High Priestess. So this is all about balance. So you may have felt like this past connection wasn't very balanced, for example, and you may have been in this very give energy. And it's important that we do find that balance and we do embrace a give and take energy so that we can be in a receptive state whilst also being able to give our energy as well. And the High Priestess always reminds us to embrace our intuition and keep ourselves grounded here. So there's a moon as an anchor, so make sure that you are keeping yourself grounded, you're embracing your intuition, and you're moving forward with confidence in the downloads that you're receiving and the balance that you're bringing into your own reality as well. So don't rely on somebody else to bring that balance into your life. Make sure you're creating that as well in your current 3D reality. The Death card also follows, so I see this as being an ending of a cycle or an ending of a phase. It doesn't necessarily have to be the ending of a relationship, although again, that could be very relevant for this collective or some parts of this collective. I see this as being a new era, a new cycle, the old way of doing things has closed out, and that's made way for a new era or a new phase of this cycle to begin. So don't see the Death card as being a negative ending, for example. Things like this need to happen so that we can ultimately grow, figure out what it is that we want, what we need to heal from, what we need to work on, and then move forward with confidence once again in the things that we're going after. The Page of Wands comes out to remind us that now is a really important time to nourish yourself, nourish your ideas, nourish any goals that you've got, and make sure that you are putting yourself at the center of your own universe. So you're not worrying about third parties, ex-relationships, or any interference within your life. You're focusing your energy solely on you so that you can continue to vibrate highly and elevate your frequency to a place where you can co-create with the universe, for example, and you can attract abundance and the things that you're trying to align with. The Lovers card comes out and it's clarified by the Nine of Swords. So I do see this being a connection that has weighed very heavy on this collective mind. It feels like there's a lot of unresolved things that have happened. There might be conversations that never happened. You may have never got your closure that you needed. But take it from somebody and my personal experience, getting that closure isn't the thing that's going to give you closure. You have to give yourself closure, and it's about doing the shadow work, doing the healing work, sitting with your pain, sitting with your feelings, identifying why you feel like this and how you're going to move from this vibration into a higher one, how you're going to close out this cycle and move into the next one, for example. So don't think that having a conversation with this person is going to give you the answers that you desire or the answers that you've been looking for, because ultimately those answers need to come from within yourself, and that closure needs to come from within you and your own heart space, for example. But this collective, we're definitely impacted by this connection. There's a lot of things that are weighing heavy on your mind or did weigh heavy on your mind when it comes to this person, and the universe is asking you to surrender any thoughts that are holding you back, or to surrender anything that is lowering your vibration or preventing you from moving forward with this journey, or preventing you moving forward into a new connection, for example. The Knight of Cups comes out to remind us that it's really important that we do make steady progress on our own emotional intelligence and on our own emotional healing journey. So make sure you're being patient with yourself, you're taking time with yourself, but you're also taking those necessary steps to elevate yourself and elevate your emotions to a point where you do feel good in yourself and you do feel happy and you're surrounded by positivity rather than doubt and wondering and thinking, what if, for example. I'm always really drawn to the wings here on top of the helmet, and I see this as almost having the universe behind you, pushing you forward. It's putting that wind beneath your wings so that you can move forward with your journey and you can move forward to a much brighter destination or a much brighter cycle, for example. The Seven of Swords comes out to remind us that it's completely okay to move away with the things that are working and leave behind anything that isn't. It doesn't necessarily even have to be moving with another person. It could be moving away from anything that's negative in this connection and working on yourself and the other person working on themselves and identifying what things go really well and what things may need tweaking. And it's really important that we focus on the things that are working well so we can continue to apply them to the situation or apply them to the cycle, because what we don't want to do is learn lessons from previous cycles or previous connections and then not apply any of those lessons or any of the things that we've intuitively picked up along the way to this new cycle or this new connection. So make sure that you are embracing the energy of the Seven of Swords and you're having confidence in leaving behind anything or anyone that is holding you back or isn't serving your highest purpose. The Magician comes out to clarify the Seven of Swords and remind you that now is a really powerful time for you to manifest, to put your magic out into the world and actually start to create things that authentically align with you, that are going to bring a really solid foundation for future growth, for example. So on the Magician, I'm always really drawn to the infinity symbol on their head, and I see this as being something that's going to be long lasting, something that's going to stand the test of time, but it's about putting yourself in that energy and about doing the shadow work and the healing work so that you can move forward with that Magician energy and basically take the risk to put your energy and your light out there. The Emperor card is the final card that comes out, and I see this as you needing to step into your power. So it's the universe asking you to stand strong on your throne or sit strong on your throne. Know that everything that you're trying to create is already on its way to you, and it's having the confidence in those manifestations coming forward, and it's knowing that you are happy in your healing journey, you're happy where you're at with your energy, your emotional stability, the things you give to the world, and all things like that. So just make sure that you are operating from a really positive place. You're continuing to spread love into the world. You're not letting past traumas or situations hold you back or dim your light, for example, and embrace that Emperor energy by standing strong in who you are. And it's really important that we embrace this high priestess energy by finding that balance, not only in our love connections with friends, family, lovers, but also with ourselves as well. So make sure that you are finding that balance across all areas of your life. Please do drop me a comment and let me know if this reading resonated. I'd also appreciate if you could drop me a follow, because it helps these messages reach a wider collective, and I'll see you on the next one.